Alrighty, how are we all doing? Let's see. Awakened Fool, how are you? Y'all give me a little thumbs up or something if you can hear me, and we'll get going. We're going to be talking about how to make money on social media. So if you guys are in my group, go ahead and chime in so I know who you are. Whoop, how you doing? Clinton Christie, what is up? So you're not Personal Twist on YouTube, or is this just another profile? And whoops, how are you doing? Personal Twist, are y'all streaming on whatnot tonight? It's all a mess. That's cool. I'm a mess too. Who's that? Gigi, how are you doing? All right, if y'all are not part of my group, let me know. And if you have any questions about making money with social media, go ahead and pop them in the chat. And we're going to talk about a little bit about what this group, I think maybe once a month, we're going to do like this, where we just come out and we'll have a live stream where just anybody can happen upon it. And then the rest of the months, we're going to be having it on our other YouTube channel, which we're on there right now. Jane Lee, how are you doing? And then we've got our private Facebook group. So all of you guys, if you have any questions, go and let us know. Let's see, Clinton Christie, I saw y'all put out a video or two. You put out a couple of videos. If you have any questions, let me know too. Is there any reason why that was like, we've been doing this almost a month, right? How to start a YouTube channel. If we've been doing it about a month, so is there any reason why you only had like a couple of videos? Is it tough making videos, or you just don't have ideas for content, or what? Joe Ellen, what is up? Good evening, glad to be with you. Look forward to learning more about the topic this evening. Awesome. And what do you do, Joe Ellen? Are you just curious, or are you already making content? So Clint said, yeah. As the video you put out was okay, that's a good place to start. I can check like your other stuff. I'm going to show you, I don't know if y'all watch, let me start Whatnot so that people can pop in over there. Joe Ellen, I see you're over there on Whatnot. Kathy's on there already. And I can't share it on Whatnot, but I'm gonna play one video and kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. Like content, you got to do content with an intent. If you don't, you're not going to make it now with all the AI stuff that's out there and everything, and that's just taking up a lot of noise. But you got to have the thumbnail, you got to have that hook right in the beginning, and you got to retain your viewership. So there's a lot that goes into it. Let me start my Whatnot show. Hold on one second. I got to start this other camera. Y'all got any questions? Put in the chat. We might do a giveaway on Whatnot. What's up, Whatnot? I saw Phyllis, Psycho Case, Dardell, Cheryl, another Cheryl, Dardell. Janley's over there now. Hello over here. Mill Creek is here. How are you doing, Mill Creek? Terp, Jennifer. What is up, everyone? If y'all have any questions about how to make money on social media, put it in the chat over here. Now you can't see. I'm gonna play a video for YouTube and Facebook real quick, or I'm gonna put one up, and I want to just show y'all. Hello. Here, let me get we're gonna do a giveaway over here. How are you guys? Sending love to Keely. She's hanging in there, Tracy. She goes back to see her doctor on Wednesday, I think. You guys want a giveaway over here? Some seeds? Most people are popping on Whatnot. They're in our garden channel. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a quick giveaway. Yo, sometime through the night, I've still got one more $20 Amazon gift card. So y'all remind me and I'll run that if everybody behaves themselves. Now, who all in here, what's everybody's view on AI? And whatever it is as far as like content creation, and let me know what you know about it. If you just know about silly pictures, or if you just know, like the videos that are coming out, or if you know like the extent, like how businesses are using it and everything too. Who whatnot. That'll be a pack of our seeds. As long as y'all jumped in here, I'll go ahead and have a little giveaway for you. All right. Nothing about it, Kathy. It's really getting out of hand. All right. Had too many open. What's up, Romeo? Please don't spam the chat like that. How are you doing? Love the new whatnot pick. Thanks, Wops. Appreciate it. Clint just says I need to stop getting in my way. I'm retired. Joe Allen's retired. This is cool for like, it's going to be a little bit, if things went the way they were without AI, the fastest growing demographic, like on social media, was like our age and the over 50, over 60, and channels were growing like really fast. Can't come up with the idea to sell. And what do you do, Joni? What's your interest? What are you doing your stuff about, any channel about? If nobody's here on tonight, I can make it. Right. Let me see. Let me see if I can mod you. Jan Lee. There we go, Jan. Let's see that. I feel like I have so much AI video content and it is also fake. Yeah. The tough thing is that there's so much of it out there right now. Even us, we're competing with it. The content creators, our traffic is like going downhill, and it's not. It doesn't really matter what we think about it, if it's right or wrong, or whatever. It's just there. And when it's out there, and people, if you see, like I can't even go through the feed anymore because 80% of it's like AI generated stuff, but a lot of people don't recognize it. They don't know it. There'll be something with a pepper plant with like 400 peppers on it, and people are asking them, how are you doing that? And they're all talking about, like it's real. So, and it's getting tons of engagement. So the platforms are still going to push it because it's getting the engagement they want. They can keep pushing ads in front of them. So it's going to be tough for a little while, as long as they just keep letting it go. See your questions here. Hope you're doing well tonight. Thank you, Stone Roots. We're just gonna hang out and have a little fun. This is a community get together, so I'm not even auctioning stuff off or anything. So anybody has questions, this is your chance. People are popping and whatnot. If you're not part of the channel, if you got questions about social media, go ahead and pop it in the comments. I've been on social media for about 10 years. I've got hundreds of thousands of followers on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I'm a full-time content creator. And if anybody's got any questions, we're still doing it. We're still in the trenches, and all the stuff that's going on with AI, we're still surviving all of that. If you guys have any questions, pop it in the chat. And what do we got? Please never use AI to identify plants. Yeah, that definitely don't do that. Especially, yeah, if it's something you're going to be consuming. That would just be insane. Believe it or not, guys, if you like, even when you Google or search something, like AI is like the first thing that pops up. you can't like really just trust that as being gospel. I barely believe the books and guides I have. Yeah, and then we're gonna trust AI, right, to tell us which ones we can eat or not, right? Um, I asked it about copyright, like I was asking about um, one of mine that wasn't, what to do, that somebody was claiming it and this and that. So I was asking about copyright, and it came back and was telling me, no, you're not supposed to copyright, you're not supposed to use copyright stuff, and all the stuff that we know. But then it said, here's a couple of ways around it, and it was giving all of these answers that, here goes the giveaway, guys, that I know for like years. I've been hearing people say it. Latane, congratulations. Latane wins a lot. Angie, what is up? Angie won last night. Angie, didn't you win the $20 gift certificate? We'll have another one of those coming up tonight. I like that picture you updated with AI, though. Did you use specific program for that? Yeah. Let's see. I'm using Midjourney sometimes, but Chat GPT has an image generator now. Most of the time. So does anybody know anything else? Yeah, Angie won last night. We'll have another one sometime during the night. Anybody know anything else about AI besides just making pictures? Because that's the obvious thing. And if you guys, anybody follow me on Instagram, I've got like 400,000 followers on Instagram. So, and I put up a little, remember our little gnomes that were dancing, the welcome one? I put that little video up, and I put, for all the AI haters, and I put a little paragraph about why I'm using AI. And for some reason, everybody thinks that Anika, a real estate site using AI, says my friend owns 2 homes on the same block. Oh man, you guys own 1, but not 2. Yeah, love the gnomes. Thanks. Yeah, the dancing gnomes. I know that people don't have the attention span to really look at AI. Yeah, they don't. But so I put that up just to let people know that, and I wasn't talking about that I'm just generating pictures and that. So does everybody know, besides just making a picture or a video, what else AI does? My father loves AI videos. I know they're putting AI. Yeah, that's what it is as long as the market's there. And this is why I told them, this is what I had in my video. And you can go look on Instagram. I put that little video and I explained why I'm using it, and hundreds of comments, just people just giving me shit. People that followed me for years, right? I followed you for years, and screw you. I'm on, I've got 400,000 followers, and they're like, I'm gonna unfollow you. Like that makes a difference. But you got to be yourself, and you got to be transparent. So if I'm going to use it, I'm going to let people know that I use it. I'm not going to like try not to. So that's why I do like the gnome thing. It's like, it's like quite obvious, right? There's like she said, the stuff that's scary is the stuff that people are trying to do for real, to make look real. I'm using chat to create labels. Yeah, didn't know you could do that. Chat, you can do just about anything. And that's what you guys need to do. You guys have like a golden opportunity right now. And you don't need to have 1 million followers. You can get out and put it. It's changed from social media, from being like a social media following, to interest based. So you guys can put out a video, and it could do better with a new channel than my videos that I put out with 1 million followers. So you guys have the opportunity, but you can't just put out just any crap, right? All of you can go, and it's not just Chat GPT. They've got all the different ones, right? Claude, Gemini. You can just pick them, and you can ask AI what you need, right? Do you pay for GPT? Yeah, I got the pro version because I was just using so much to that I would generate enough in a day, because I'm actually using it to learn. I'm not using it that much in all of my stuff. But the reason why I made that video was was just to let people know I'm doing it, that the reason why I am, because people have tied gardening or farming or whatever, just because I say they think I'm an environmentalist, which, you know, I am to an extent, but they say that it's ironic and that I can't be a gardener. I can't like say I want people to grow their own food and I can't support AI at the same time. And so they were just like, you know, and the people who don't care or like it, you know, they don't say anything. I put for all the AI haters. So the only ones that comment are going to be the ones that hate AI, right? So they're like, oh, they're tearing you up in the comments. I'm like, no, that's just the people that don't like AI. And quite frankly, if they don't like it, they can unfollow me. And that's what a lot of people, a lot of creators are like scared, you know, doing things that people are going to, you know, you've seen some like the big creators with millions of followers and they do something and they lose like a bunch of them and they're crying and stuff. Unfortunately, people steal the content. Yeah, and that happens with whatever we're doing. Anyhow, I put that out that I'm doing it, and they got really mad. And if I thought we could put a stop to it by everybody just saying no, we're not going to watch it, we're not going to, you know, listen to it, we're not going to use it, then I might be on board. But AI is not going anywhere. That's, you know, and that's just the facts right now. When you have Congress and the presidency talking about putting a moratorium on any regulations on AI, they were trying to put in the bill for like a couple of years. Next thing they were talking about like 10 years. Can you imagine no regulations on an industry for 10 fucking years? So something that's this entwined in everything, in daily lives and our economy and everything, and them saying we're not going to regulate it, they want to just do whatever they do for 10 years. That's like, it's crazy. A window just popped up on my cell phone saying AI can run your company now. Yeah, the best thing to do is just not ignore it, but learn as much as you can. Yeah, generally that's what I'm doing. And that's what I put as far as like being a bit, if I was doing this like a hobby or you know, just for fun would be one thing, but this is a business. And there's other people, there's other content creators, they're all running businesses too. They're all running it like a business. And there's people that are out there that are just doing it just to make money. And if 99% of them are using AI and I don't, then I'm going to get left behind. And there's going to be a bunch of companies that just are lost. Like in the next, you guys, people that are like my age, how many industries have you seen come and go with how many people were like at Blockbuster when they first opened up? And then Netflix came along, or the Red Box. Remember the Red Box was outside and all of a sudden you didn't need to go inside. Nobody's using the typewriter. My dad did insurance inspections and my mom would type them out. And so he would have to take it and dictate it on a little phone, not a phone, we didn't even have phones back then, a little recorder, a little cassette recorder. He'd give that to my mom and she'd have to listen to it and transcribe it and she'd have to type it out. And my dad would wait till the last minute. Things would have to be in by Thursday, and like Wednesday night, he's giving my mom like tons of stuff to do. I remember my mom being up all night typing and them just being so stressed out, and that being on a typewriter. And every time you messed up, you had to like take it and try to erase it, or it came up with liquid paper, right? And before liquid paper, what we were doing was they had you're trying to just erase it. It had carbon copies. It was a real mess. And I keep thinking back, wow, how much time that would have saved if my mom had a word processor. Not even what we have today, where we can just talk and it pops up. But if my dad could sit there and talk and it would transcribe it, he wouldn't even need my mom. He could have just been doing that and sending it in. He could have been doing that, punching a button on a computer, and it would be where it needed to be. He would do all of those, type those reports up. My mom would give it back to him. He would take his copies, their copies, take them, put them in an envelope, and then we'd have to drive across town to UPS or FedEx and overnight it because you waited so long. Now everything's done on a computer, right? So this is, we go through evolutions, and anything that saves time and money is going to stick around. And basically all the AI right now, people see pictures, right? We know music, the industry, we know artists are having like copyright things and all of that. All of that stuff is surface level. All of that that we see is barely scratching the surface of what's going on. You have, they were arguing with the Department of Defense on using AI and autonomous weapons and drones, and trying to decide if it's like ethical or not, and trying to see if they're going to let the AI decide whether something's friendly or a threat, which is like really crazy. So all the stuff that we're doing, whether people know it or not, it is ingrained in like almost every big corporation that's out there is already using it. When we get into editing, I'm using a simple editor. It's Filmora. They got DaVinci Resolve, Adobe, the Apple products, and all of that. The simple one that I got asks you if you want to use AI to generate thumbnails. It asks you if you want to do an AI voice. It asks you to do text to video. It asks you, and everything you're doing is asking you if you want to use AI to do it, right? There's a lot of people, creators are doing that. They might not be doing the thumbnail because people recognize it, but they're using it for other things. So if you guys go into like ChatGPT, what I'm using, you can ask it anything. Like I can say my next video is coming out. If I go and explain, I said, go look at my channel, right? Keep on growing my Crane Dudes. Go look at my channel. And I'm going to be doing a video on the pea shoots. And I give it a little bit of an explanation. And I say, format this into a YouTube video for me. It can do it in like 10 seconds. Then I've got the script. And then I can go through and edit it myself, right? Take whatever out, fact check that it is stuff that I would use or I would say, but that gets you off the blank page. And it's something that I could have sat around for a day or two trying to write out a script before I even started filming. Now I can sit down in 10 minutes, tell AI what I want, click a button, and like in 10 seconds it's back to me, and I can go back and forth for like 30 minutes and finesse it. That saves a lot of time. So there's a lot of creators that are doing things like that. So that's just like surface level stuff that we're using. Every business out there, probably, whether you know it or not, they're doing it for every aspect of your life. The chat bots and everything that you're talking to, all the customer service. There's not going to be any customer service left. It's all going to be chat bots. The bad thing is that we all thought the robots were coming for the jobs. We thought it was going to be low-level burger flippers. We see little robots because they're in the automobile industry and factories and that. And then we thought now they're going to be flipping burgers and doing fries. The middle class is like in like serious danger of being wiped out, like within the next 5 to 10 years. If your job is nothing more than researching, looking stuff up, and writing stuff down and figuring stuff out, they're going to use AI to do it. Yep, I'm slowly training on AI. Yeah, and I mean it's pretty cool. Like I can go in and you can train your own models. If you guys don't know what that is, whichever one you're working on. And this is like tip of the iceberg. There's stuff they call AI agents. It's actually like you having your own personal assistant as an AI. It's helping you do everything. Anything you guys have a question, if you go on ChatGPT right now, look, $20 a month is like nothing. All right. If you do it even 1 month, just so you can get in there and see, get in there and all the stuff that you would ask me, right? But maybe you're afraid to ask me that. Go and chat GPT and ask. I'm guaranteeing you like 90% of the questions that people are coming to me and asking, chat GPT could have answered it like in 10 seconds. I think they'll put it in cars. Yeah, in the car seat, swerve or miss something. Yeah, that's a good thing. They can do that. But it's like going to be in everything. So when I already see like all of the other stuff that they're using, and it's already built into everything, and people are talking about like data centers. I mean, they're looking forward to the future on how big it could be. We could stop right now and not build anymore and just use what we got, and we're like 100 times more efficient than we were like 10 years ago. So there's no way any company out there is just going to go, okay, it's bad for the environment. We're not going to do it. So it's they're all using it. That's what corporations do. That's what they have to find ways to make a profit in that, and if it's at the detriment of people's lives, and that most of them don't care. Wish more of them would, in that, but they're all using it, and all of the businesses and everything are using it. So if you guys want to stay in the game in that too, you should at least look into it. Um, like I said, it's a big opportunity for you to connect with people. The internet, social media, it's a great opportunity to generate revenue, but you're competing with everybody that's out there that's already using all of that stuff. And it's just getting flooded and flooded. So unless the platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, unless they go over and take steps and say, we're not going to take AI content, that if they can identify it and get rid of it, then that would be good for all of us. But as long as people, when they put something up, who's it? Most of you are into gardening over here, right? See what's going on over here on YouTube. If you go on Facebook and the feed, how much AI stuff do you see going through there right now? How narrowed down could I be for my content on health coach? Wellness with Don D, as much as narrow as you can get is actually better right now. You're not going to get like the traffic, and you won't grow very big, but the people that you do get in there, and that's what's good about the algorithms right now, is that you'll get the right people in there. Whereas before it was like testing like on generic audiences. So like when I started, it was all about follower count and going out to the masses and trying to get as many views as you can. And right now they've finessed it so much that it actually goes out after the particular viewer. So if you can narrow it down to where the algorithms know what you're talking about, it can help you gain the right people like quickly. Whereas before we would just try to get a big audience and then funnel them down to what we need. It's just like right now, the people on Whatnot, like I'm on YouTube and Facebook, right? And Facebook, I got 1 million followers. Are there 1 million people over on Whatnot? Whenever I stream and they go to Whatnot, I see me doing that for like 6 months, right? But I don't need all 1 million over there. I just need people who see what I'm doing, and I explain it's not like a trick. Like go over there, I got cookies or whatever, right? So you're taking the right people. They see what you're doing. We're having an auction. We're selling these, and people over there are getting good deals and do a giveaway, and they're having giveaway. So the right people are going over to Whatnot instead of, I don't need 100,000 people from Facebook or YouTube to come over here and a bunch of people just acting like idiots, right? I just need the right people over here. And that's what social media is doing right now. All right, there's a giveaway on Whatnot. Did it go through? I know the data centers are taking all the water out of the ground from our farmers. Yeah, that is a problem. Like I said, if we could stop it, they're trying to put a halt to it. But even if they do, and they figure out a different way to do it, or they start using nuclear or whatever, like I said, that AI is integrated into everything so much that they're going to find a way around anything. So even if they stop a data center, they're going to do it. They want to put a data center in space. They want to put them in the ocean. They're going to figure out some way to do something. So even that's what I don't like it. I would hate it if that was I saved up all my life and I had property out in God's country, and that's where I was going to retire. And then all of a sudden they start clearing acres behind me and sticking one of these things up in my backyard. I would hate it, but you know, we're gonna have to leave that up to like people protesting the government, you know, maybe regulating a little or whatever. But us just going, I'm not using AI is not going to stop a data center anywhere. So that's what we're at a place. This is what it's like tough for everyone. You know, you got to decide what you want to do. And if you want to, I'm all for the people who, and that's why when the people came on and said, you know, screw you, I'm unfollowing you. You know, you're using AI. You're not for the environment, and you know, you're supposed to be. You know, for some reason they think I'm Johnny Appleseed or something. And but if we can make a difference, you know, that I would. But us not using it, it's not going to. Yeah. Let me try it again. It just did a little. I did a giveaway and it just kind of spun. Maybe we're lagging. There we go. All right. Yeah, it was buffering over here. Let me see what people over here are. AI videos that are short, yeah, 3 to 10 minutes, or even short, generate views and likes viable. If you do it on YouTube, you can do it and you can get views, but you can't get monetized. YouTube's put a stop to that. So people are getting on there, they're getting a ton of views and monetizing channels. They're not going to get monetized. So you could build an audience and then you can get like sponsorships or brand deals and things like that, but you can't get monetized. Yes, living life is the best, not machine life. I'm new to gardening. I like animation for my yeah, Clinton. That yeah, for whatnot. Thank you for the first time for the hydroponic grower. I appreciate that. Cool deal. Just checking out YouTube and Facebook. So, but that's what being on social media too. We kind of went off on the AI tangent, but you got to learn to. It's all about surviving and analyzing and adapting. And when things are changing so fast right now, and people are using it, and they're taking up all the traffic, if you're not over there, at least trying to figure it out, you can run yourself ragged trying to keep up, or you can use some of the same tools they are. So this is where I was going back to the point where you guys are at like a really good opportunity, but you got to take advantage of it now, because 5 years from now, we all might be sitting at home just getting UBI. And because what happens when half of the white collar jobs are gone? You know, it's one thing when all the burger flippers are gone, right? But now we're talking about people who are making like 100 grand a year, 150 a year. Their jobs aren't. All their jobs are all like, you know. I'm trying to think of any job out there that. How many jobs out there that are like white collar jobs do you think that AI could not do? Or at least not like replace everyone, but if there's like 100 people working, if they could get that down to 10 people, just where AI's running stuff, instead of 100 people, there's 10 people taking care of watching this program and that program and that program. I mean, we already see it happening right now with like bank tellers. I haven't seen a bank. I personally talked to a bank teller, but like 2 or 3 times in the last 5 years. And back 10, 20 years ago, it was several times a week. I was talking to a bank teller for in and out. And then when I was running, it was in and out. Now we're almost a cashless society. The checkouts, right? They're training us to be the checkout. They're training us all to be our own cashiers without getting paid for it. So they take all the cashiers and they start firing all the cashiers. You go in, there's only a couple of them. And there's like everybody's checking themselves out. We're training ourselves how to. It might take us a little while, but you see some people now going in like standing just like they're a freaking cashier, and I'm over there like trying to figure stuff out still, and they're looking at me like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, I'm not a cashier, but they're training us to do that job. So we see that all of that's going in. That is just with an automated cash register. That's not even AI. Now, when you get all of that involved in it, if you tell all these big corporations to get rid of most of your cashiers, do you think they'll say, how hard is it to talk to a person for customer service? Yeah, exactly. They're the and guys, a lot of jobs will be lost. Yep. I don't know if you guys have messed around with like on websites. You see down in the bottom it says chat, right? And somebody you're like chatting with someone. Most of the time it's a bot right now. And there's this program called Go High Level. I know most of you probably won't know about all of this stuff, and some of you might, but it's where it's a program where you go in, it's a platform, and you can make all your own websites, funnels, and everything. Who won here? Miss JR. Congratulations. Y'all remind me before the end of the night, we'll do a $20 Amazon gift card. To give you, maybe lose my train of thought. It's awesome. I've been certified pharmacy tech for CVS for 20 years, and they're trying to replace us with self-help pads. And yeah, see, and that's what, yeah, and that's not like just a minimum wage job or a grocery clerk or something, right? They're trying to do it to everything. And this is what, getting away from the content creation, the government, everybody's got to start talking about seriously about something like universal basic income or something, or some way to the big companies that are saving billions of dollars using this, that the workforce is going to be cut down, that they have to somehow subsidize it, or there's going to be major pain and unrest because people don't just lay down and go hungry and die. There's going to be like major problems if they don't rein in, because each individual corporation on their own is going to do as much as they can to save every freaking penny that they can, right? And then as a whole, if they all, the way this stuff's coming out and everybody's using it, and the people that have the app sell it to everyone, that this is going to happen like the Fast and Furious. It's really gonna be scary. So the government should get ahead of it, which they don't, and try to figure it out beforehand and start easing people into, here's a couple $100, a month or something for everybody, and then here's another, and work our way up. What they're going to have to do is wait until there's like major pain, and then say, give us a little, hang a little carrot on a stick. We're working on it, and give you a little possible. And then in the meantime, the people who make all this stuff are making out like bandits. So we may be in for rough times, which I know that's not what this video was about. I'm here to tell you. And this is why I want everybody to get started, because we don't know what's coming, and we don't know how fast it's coming. Right now, you have an opportunity. All of you can get out there. You can start a channel. You can start to grow an audience. That's why the best thing is growing an audience. If you're concentrating on, I got to make sales, you got to grow your audience, because they'll stick with you, especially if you get an email list or some way to contact them or get across all the platforms and everything. You've got to start to grow an audience, because whatever happens from this, you can't weather it without it. Well, at least we can grow food. Yep. And that's where everybody should be, just learning how to do that. It might come down to that. I mean, it would be cool if they gave you so much an allotment every month, right? Maybe everybody's job, instead of working 40 hours a week, everybody's working 25 hours a week now. but everybody gets an allotment. And then instead of working 40 hours and working 2 jobs and working overtime, you're only working 25 hours and you got time to go and garden. You got time to do art. And you've got, the extra income coming in that you can use for that, which all of that money that comes in, like if they give the money out, it's not like it's just evaporated. Like people are like, we're just spending money. All that money, if they give out a UBI, people take that money. Most of them, unless they're like rich and they're like just throwing in the savings account, most people are going to take it and spend it on their, especially if they get cut back on hours and that, right? On living expenses. So all of that money that they give out goes right back into the economy. That's like the earned income credit when people are like, oh, people are getting free money. It's not free money. It's money that the government takes and gives out that basically goes back out into the economy. There's not that many people that get the earned income and go and stick it in a savings account. They get the earned income and they go out and buy a purse, or they go put a down payment on a car, or they go get some clothes, or they go get a flat screen TV, right? Or they catch up on their bills and they go out and buy groceries. So all of that money, when they give that money out, it's to build they all know this, they just don't tell everyone. So if they do a universal basic income, it's not like we've got to like magically make money somewhere that just gets burned up every month. They're getting that money that's going to go and keep all of these corporations and these businesses in business, because the people that buy all the stuff, all the people that buy bread and milk and eggs and clothes and t-shirts and TVs and cars and slippers and everything, they have the money. They're going to take it and give it back out. Most of Americans don't have that much of a savings. Most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So all of that money that gets paid out with the universal basic income is basically just stimulus money going back into the economy. I love the UBI suggestion that Andrew Yang mentioned a few years back. Yeah, see, he mentioned a few years back before we were even talking about AI, right? And that's with just, with the intention that they know that earned income credit, just like that, most of those people take that money and it goes right back in. But now we're with the imminent threat that AI is going to replace. They were talking, I've heard some of and I've been listening to a whole lot of people speaking about this. They're talking about by 2030, like in 4 years, like 50% of some industries like gone. They're talking about like within 10 years, like a lot of white collar jobs like just gone. So they're saying the people who are going to like survive for a little while are going to be like plumbers. Like you can't get AI to come in and fix the leak yet, right? Until we get a little robot that like gets dropped by a drone in your house and he comes in and he can fix a leak. The people that do like physical manual labor like that, repairing your roof, stuff like that are going to make it through. And those are all the jobs we thought were like the ones that slowly were going to get phased out first and work its way up the chain. And now the middle class, the white collar, they're talking about like all of that. When you have lawyers getting in trouble for using AI to look up case studies and stuff and write up all of their things, when lawyers are doing that, how many industries did you think out there are not using it? People that used to be blue collar. Yeah. Can you really trust companies to pay into UBI? You're not going to have to trust them. They're going to have to do it. That's why I said the government has to get in front of it right now and just prepare people and just say this is, or just like when people, instead of them bragging like we're laying off 80,000 people, right? And we're using AI to do it, that you're going to get taxed for that. It's going to, and they're going to have to do something like based on the amount of people that they start laying off, and make it so that they say plumbers will make the most money, more money than them. Yeah, they might. Plumbers, mechanics, nurses, aides, janitors. Yeah, pretty much the only jobs. Yep, and that's what they're talking about. Like we're putting data centers in. It's going to create jobs. Once they put those in their building, basically big servers and that, it's going to be people just to maintain the machine. It's not like a factory where there's a bunch of people coming in making something. It's going to be people in there just doing maintenance. It's going to be the janitor going in there and cleaning the floors and that. And it's going to be the people that are just working maintaining them and keeping them up. It's not going to be like a factory where there's a lot of people working. My dad and one brother are plumbers, and my other brother is a mechanic. Oh, cool. So you get all the stuff. That's cool, Maria. And I used to like it. I don't do too much of it anymore. I don't have the time, but it does feel good. I'm like our dryer. We just got, last year we got a new dryer, washer and dryer. But our old one, we kept running and running. I kept going and ordering parts. Amazon, you can order parts right now, right? And I jump behind it, rip everything out, replace all the stuff. And I would feel good that, and I was spending like $80, $60, whatever, getting parts, replacing it. But I felt good that I with my hands fixed it, right? When the dryer was like $300 or something, I could have just got a new dryer. But we get a little satisfaction out of it. Construction workers all over the place, but that way. Yeah. It's hard work, but it's worth it. Exactly. Yeah, Marie, you just need an electrician. You're all set. I'm looking into becoming a medical assistant. That job is still safe. Yep. But they're even working on that. We've got, what do you call it? They've got robots in our surgery room right now. So, yeah, anything, if you can think, and guys, go and ask AI. I asked AI. I sat and had a conversation with it about this, like with the UBI and that. I didn't even come up with that. I didn't even say it. I just asked what's going to happen when AI gets rid of 80% of the jobs within the next 10 years or whatever, or is this possible? And it's like, yes, this can happen. And what's going to happen? And they're like, well, there's going to have to be something like universal basic income or something. There's no way you can just lose like millions of jobs at one time and just think everything's going to be all right. And they'll do it. They're waiting for the pain. That's our only problem in America, and that's the only problem with capitalism is that we don't do anything to prevent. We're always reactionary. So we're always waiting until something breaks, and then we go in and try to fix it with a fucking Band-Aid. So we know that this is coming, and it's not about little pictures. It's not about little videos and you got a copyright strike and everything. This is something that's going to be ingrained in every aspect of every business within the next couple of years, and it's going to cause a lot of pain. There's going to be massive amounts of people just losing their jobs. Medical field is really brutal. It's a business. Yeah, it is. Both my sons work for construction, and all they do is data cable industry. Yeah, I know a company. One of our clients, when Kim was painting murals, one of our clients built a big business, and all they do is just cable everywhere. Everything is just all this stuff. It used to just be our regular coax or whatever coming in with the TV, right? Now they're running cables and everything for all the data and everything everywhere. Making money in the digital space, I think that's where it's at. Yeah, 4Gs, and I need to own in on a niche. Yeah, anything. And that's what you've got to like and give this some thought, because that's what, remember I was telling y'all I was redoing my online course and my ebook, and I've got this program, and I'm putting a lot of money into starting, I'm trying to build it out where we can have an affiliate program. You guys can go ahead and just pass out a link and generate income, right? The only thing is, like, I'm putting in time, like I've already got an online course and an ebook that generate income, even though I don't push it, I don't sell it. It's just in my descriptions, people find it, and it generates income. And I want to do that for y'all, where you can do that, where you're just making videos, you're not having to constantly sell. The only thing is, when I'm updating all of these and working on them, it's faster for me to update it just going into ChatGPT and saying, can you help me update this chapter? And look through all of my recent videos, tell me what I need to put in that's more pertinent. I just, whatever, like me, you were sitting and trying to figure out how to update my ebook. We were talking about before. The friggin' AI does that. If I can do it, then anybody out there can do it. So all of the information that I put together, the stuff that I've been getting like passive income, just dropping in a year or two might not be worth anything. because anybody, just like we were talking about this last night or the night before, right? Those people can come in and just, instead of coming to me and buying my course, they can go into Chat GPT and say, tell me about off-grid hydroponics. And they'll say, well, it's grown without any pumps and aeration and all of that. Tell me about cracky hydroponics. And they'll say, well, how Mike Van Ducey would keep on growing this. And AI will tell them everything on my freaking channel for free. I did hear a podcast, I guess, they Chat Complicate. Yeah, complicated questions. Yeah, if you, that's what I said. I was wondering how many people actually knew, because we see the pictures, and that's why I put out like a little picture. I put out the little gnome thing, just so I can see how many people get reactionary to it. And like I said, Instagram, I'm using just to drive traffic. Like you guys see me say BOGO or something, they get a link, right? But Instagram itself, I'm monetized. When they have a little bonus going on, it make a couple thousand, but when there's no bonus, it's like less than 100. So I'm not really worried about it. So I'll test things over there. So I went over and put the AI out there just to see how people would react, and people are coming on there, and they didn't bother me. They just being like really mean, and you know, people that followed me for like 8 years are like, I'm done with you or whatever. And I'm like, you know, half the people, more than half, I think almost all of them that say I'm done, I'm unfollowing you, then unfollow, because I could comment back to them and they comment again, so they didn't. Or I'm blocking you, you know, stuff like that, or you know, I'm done. But I just want to see the reaction. And being on social media, you guys got to do this too. Is just not worry about everyone, and a lot of creators are worried about if they do something and people don't like them, and then you lose like part of the crowd or whatever. You just got to be yourself. And like I said, I'm using AI, and it's not because it can make a funny looking thumbnail or it can do whatever. If you guys watch the thumbnails I'll put out are like obvious, right? Like the one I put on here, I did that on purpose. That's obviously like that. I could have got somebody to draw it. Somebody said that too. Instead of doing that little animation with the gnomes, they're like, you could have hired somebody to do it, or a college kid, or this or that. And I paid $20 a month to Chat GPT. Mid-Journey is like $10 a month. It's like the lowest plans or whatever. I'm like, and I do that like in a day or a week or whatever, right? Like, show me one graphic artist or designer or anything out there that will make me an animation, a 20-second animation for $20, and they won't. There's years ago, I had somebody, a friend, like do one. I was trying to be serious, and I kind of screwed it up, but they did a little 30-second clip for me or whatever, and she like actually draws, and I paid her $250 for it. And that was just because we were just friends. She just did a quick little animation. But there's no one out there that's going to do an animation for you for what you can. Some of these are free that you can go out there and generate. I've been following you since 2019. Respect everything you have taught me. Awesome. Thank you, Cheryl. I really appreciate it. At the end of the day, you need to be true to you and what basically. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Carol. But I do that on purpose. I put it out there like that, just so people can see. It's obvious, but they don't say anything. There's a bunch of thumbnails that I put out that I used AI to enhance, to work it some way, and they don't say anything because they have no freaking clue. But as soon as I put the little cartoony one up there, this one right here, YouTube and Facebook, before the show even started, I created the live stream. It popped up, notifications started popping up saying Mike's going live in a couple of minutes. The very first comment was somebody saying, I've been following you for years, and because I saw the AI thumbnail, I'm blocking you. That was the very first comment. And I just went ahead and just blocked them and deleted them. I don't worry about it. And I'm like, if they say they're going to block me, I'll just block them, and that way they're just gone. But that was the very first comment. So people are like really reactionary like that. So that's what they see. but they've been seeing AI enhanced like videos and thumbnails and that, like on a lot of stuff, and just didn't know it. My last video that came out, remember, I had all those plants. AI doesn't do that. It's live. I had all those plants, and I was holding the pea shoots, and I had the gray shirt on, right? I took that ChatGPT that does images and that now, and I said it had one thing that just says stylized. So I just clicked one button. It says upload a picture. I uploaded that picture. Click one button, said stylized, and it changed all of the clothes I was wearing. Just that one thing did it. So now I had different clothes on. Now I can go in and put a prompt in it, and I can say, could you make it a black shirt? Could you make it a blue shirt or whatever, right? I just left that, just messed with it. I said, could you change the background? Could you make it blurry? Could you change, could you isolate the foreground and make it more saturated? And the bowl of microgreens I had a bunch of pea gravel, a little bit of algae on it. And when I took the picture, it really liked the green of it. So I said, could you make the pebbles a little more white? That kind of stuff, if you did that in Adobe, if you did it in any of the editors, Canva and all of that, Photoshop, it takes you a long while to do all of that and map stuff out and to get the colors right. And now you go in AI, just it, and in 15 seconds it's done. And watch the next video that comes out there. I have one. We're talking about weights. We talked about this where we said we don't put any weights on our stuff, right? But all the other microgreen growers do it. So I thought, let's make a video about that. And I start with a thumbnail. A lot of people don't do that. They'll make videos and spend all the time scripting and filming and editing. And then when they're done, they're like, what would be a good thumbnail? I like to think about thumbnail first. I think Mr. Beast does this. Mr. Beast would work like weeks on a thumbnail. He spends, right now he has a team doing it, but back when he first started, he worked for weeks on a thumbnail. And if they couldn't get the thumbnail right, they wouldn't even try. They wouldn't even go on with their idea for the video. Now, I thought about the weights, and all I did was take a video where I had my microgreens, one of my pictures. So you go back through, I had the picture of me holding the microgreens. And I said, it changed the background. It made it something like a rainy thing or whatever. It was one of the filters. I popped that on. And I looked down and said, could you make me holding a bunch of cinder blocks or cement blocks, like struggling to hold it? And it took a normal picture like this that I had plants, and it made me look like I was struggling and put a bunch of cement blocks in my hand instead of the plant. There's no way that anybody can do that in Photoshop in 10 seconds, right? And then I said, could you change the background to my microgreens? And you guys, if you just put microgreens anywhere, all you're going to get is a bunch of 10, 20 trays of microgreens, right? And I said, could you put a bunch of the microgreens, put my containers with the inverted bottles in it, which no other channel is doing that, right? And it put microgreen containers behind me and had bottles sticking in them. And a couple times, bottles sticking in them, sitting upright. And I said, could you turn the bottles upside down? And they were all clear. I said, could you make some of the bottles brown? Could you make some of the bottles green? And like every time I asked, another 10 minutes, 30 seconds. I mean, another 10 seconds, 30 seconds. Then I said, could you blur the background a little? Could you enhance the front? Could you add a little more saturation? So all this stuff that you knew that I wanted to do in Photoshop and all that, and it would painstakingly do it. Now, instead of thinking and doing it, you just say it and click a button and it's done. So whether people know it or not, if you think I'm the only one doing it, that's crazy. There's millions of creators out there, and you know they're all competing with each other, right? Everybody's doing this. The ones that aren't doing it are the ones that don't know how and won't take the time to learn. So when these people come on and crap on me and say, you're doing AI, you're supporting the data centers, you're supporting the death of the planet, I can't follow you anymore. I'm like, well, what do you think about all the other people you're following? Because there's a lot of stuff that I use AI for that you had no idea that I was. And there's a lot of people that you interact with every single day in every aspect of your life that's using AI right now, and you don't know it. But when you see a funny little picture and you can spot it, then all of a sudden, then you're on your high horse about it. So that's what we just got to realize is that it's not going anywhere. If it's really bad, which it would, but I'm more of a realist. And that's what I try to teach people, like on our things about using social media and everything. Weren't you tickled to be able to do all this so fast and easily? Yeah, it was. I've been doing this for like 10 years. And that's what I was talking about. But you guys have to realize the opportunity that you have, that there's things as far as editing that I would sit and do for hours and hours and hours, and I can go and click a friggin' button on it. Does it? There's things that take me forever. I can never get it looking just right. And kids like 12 years old on their phone doing what took us a long time to do before. So all of you who are getting started now, you guys have 100 times more resources than we did 10 years ago. And we saw this coming, at least I did, and we've been helping creators for years. I was telling them way back then when it's called rotoscoping, and you have to put keyframes and track and all of the stuff that we were doing. I was telling them when they were doing it, people were like, they were so good at it, like I'm the king of rotoscoping, or I'm the king of keyframes and that, right? I'm like, you do realize in a couple of years we're not going to be doing this at all. And they're like, nah, they're not. And it's come to me. So all of you, the skills and stuff that we had to learn to muddle by and build an audience before, it's all there for you right now. All of you can go into ChatGPT, all the stuff that you think you would come to me and ask me, you can ask ChatGPT. And you can ask it questions about, like, whatever question you were going to ask me, ask it and say, what would so-and-so, your favorite channel, that's a big channel, what do you think they would say? Or how do you think they're doing it? And you can say, what would Mike Van Duzen and Keep On Growing say? How would he do it? How can I make my content kind of like his? If I was competing with Mike Van Duzen and I was making microgreens too, and I need to make a video, what would be my next video? If I wanted to go viral, what would I make? What would I do in the first 10 seconds? You can ask it all these questions, and it'll spit a bunch of answers. They're not all going to be right, but it gets you off that blank page, and it gets you thinking. So another thing you can do with AI is that you can go on and just say, give me 10 ideas for a video that will go viral in the gardening space, baking cookies, riding a bike, hang gliding, whatever it is, right? Give me 10 ideas for a viral video. I want to make it 8 to 10 minutes long, and I want to cover this topic and just explain a couple things. But it doesn't have to be that long. You don't even have to type it. Kind of where you can speak into it now, and it'll come back and give you 10 ideas, and then it'll ask you, right? Like if you had to just keep coming up with that, it might take a while. It'll give you 10 and goes, do you like these, or should I make it more suspenseful, or should I make it more tense, or should I make it more happy, or in your tone? If you've got a bunch of content out there, right now I can tell it to just keep going to my channel. I can make what's called a master prompt, and I can tell it about my channel, who I am, and just that I can, if I spend like a day and just put all my information in there and tell it, I can make a master prompt so that when I go back to ask it a question, I put that master prompt in. I said, according to this, use it as a guide. And it'll keep coming back and answering questions in my tone. And if I say, write me a script for my next video and use my tone, instead of like sounding like a robot, it's going to go back and it's going to talk about off-grid hydroponics and why I don't use pH meters, even though like all the other channels do, right? It's going to be talking about stuff that I talk about on my channel because I told it where to go and where to look. And all of you can do all of that right now. If you don't have content out there, you can say like epic gardening or something, or self-sufficient me. You know, if I was making a video like self-sufficient me, you can even say based on the last 10 videos he did, what do you think he's going to be doing next? You know, according to the last like 6 years that he's been doing videos, you know, what's he going to be doing at the beginning of spring or something, right? You can ask it any question, it's going to pop some out. So when you go over and say, give me 10 ideas, it's going to put those 10. It'll ask you if you need to change it up. Let's say, tighten it up. Give me just what would be the top 3. What are the chances of that going viral? And then it'll ask you if it wants to generate a script for it. It'll ask you if you want to generate a script for short videos. It'll ask you if you want to have captions for Instagram. All the stuff that creators have been struggling with and getting burned out with for the past like 10 years. Everybody, all of you new people can do that like right now. And everybody is struggling with just putting a video out. All of the resources are there. Everything's there. It's like, you know, like the pot of gold's over there. We can point at it and everybody else is just like going, right? And you're like, it's right there. And nobody's looking. So if I had this back then, I'd be a millionaire right now. There's no doubt in my mind. They're just the amount of stuff. Right now, guys, you guys know what I'm going through with like my wife and her health problems, right? And we're still running our business and doing all of this at the same time. And we're still pumping out content. And I'm still working on 4 platforms. Every one of the gurus out there, except Gary Vee. Gary Vee has many places that you can. All the other ones are telling you to focus on one. It's because they can't focus on 4. They'll get burned out. They don't know what the hell to do. So they're going to come up with some reasons they focus on one. But if you're like as many places as you can be, if one of them goes away, you're still in the other places. You can always grow that one back. It's a lot easier, right? If you're in one place and goes bye-bye, how easy is it to start from 0? Amazing. So what's going to prevent? Hey, got a little raid. Shay's Collection, thank you for the raid. What do you do? What do you sell here on Whatnot, Shay? So what's going to prevent someone from taking your channel? Nothing. Right now, we're all just that. Anything can happen. That's my problem. I don't do social media. Yeah, I didn't. Psycho Case. I started on Facebook just because that's where like older people were. I had a Facebook profile. That was where you found like your family and friends, and that's where we started. I started YouTube because I wanted to sell a hydroponic product because we were working on the road. My wife was doing artwork, murals, and we were on the road all the time, spending the night away from the house. And I wanted to find someone that I could work with. So I started looking into YouTube. This is something like all of you, like who are in the group, guys. We've got the group on Whatnot. I've got that down there. We've got the little. Let me pin it. I still have it for $27. Anyhow, it's lifetime membership. Our little group, and right now we're just kind of working through. We're building out. It's like a course, and it's to help everybody that's in the group. But right now, I'm coming out like once a month like this and just talking to everyone, just to put value out to the world and to other creators and that. And then we're going to be on my other channel, our cafe, and then we're in our group. So all the people that are in the group, listen, all the stuff we're talking about, like when I talk about this, you guys have access to not only being able to reach people on the internet, right? Greatest opportunity in mankind. We were licking envelopes, stuffing envelopes, like 1,000 envelopes, and you had to buy 1,000 stamps and send it off and maybe get 10 of them back, right? Um, you guys have all of the tools, like I said, besides just all the stuff that we had, editing and everything. You can edit your own videos. Before you can do that, you had to hire an editor. You can edit your own videos and stuff now, and so you can shoot videos, edit, you can post. Now you have all of the AI stuff, and just like what we were talking about, where you can go on over and ask AI, just like it's your personal assistant, like maybe it's your manager or your agent. What should I do? What should I do next? You know, what should my next video be? Give me 10 ideas for my next video. I want to make some shorts. They'll give you can ask it to fill out your content calendar for 30 days and give you ideas. That you can connect your email, ask it to give you a daily update, and say, in that update, give me an idea, give me 5 ideas for shorts that are comparable to like the top 10 channels that are out there, or stuff that have the highest propensity for going viral, right? So that every day you can wake up and you can say, have it remind me at 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. Every day when you wake up at 8 a.m., you get a little notification, open up your email, you've got 5 ideas of shorts that you can do, right? So all of these things that creators have been like burning out, trying to make content, all of this stuff, they have it at their fingertips. You guys are just starting to have all of that. So we have all of this opportunity, but like I said, with the way AI is going, I would rather try to figure this stuff out, try to figure out how to make an income this way, not be dependent on the jobs that AI is taking, all of the jobs that are out there, even flipping a burger, right? Little robots, they got a little robot arms doing that. They do it in other places. If you go to Japan, they've got robots cooking, and it's coming out in little vending machines and that. And people come by the front and order and pull it out the front. I just saw a pizza machine where it actually cooks a pizza. It's not like it just warms up a slice of pizza. It's an entire machine is rolling the dough and setting the dough out, sauce, cheese, and it's cooking it and sending it out. And there's people asking for funding for that. All of this stuff's all getting automated and everything, right? So while this is all going on, now I think that we're all in agreement that there's something coming, something on down the road, right? That there's a massive amount of the labor market is like in jeopardy of being gone. I would try to do whatever I could, right? This isn't like it's a hobby. If I make $10 in a weekend, that's cool. This is like the apocalypse is coming, and you need to prepare for it. And I would do everything I could to try and learn new skills and everything. It's just like when TikTok, it was Musical.ly, I was on there from day one, TikTok, and people are like laughing, going, "That's for kids." I was learning a skill. I was learning how to do vertical video, even though I hated to do vertical video, but I was learning how to do it. And it wasn't because I liked TikTok, and that's how I grew that. But then when Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels popped off, I knew how to make vertical videos. I knew how to get a hook. I knew how to keep people retained. So I put videos out there. Like my first week, my first videos that I put out there, one of them got like 3 million views. And it wasn't because I just made a video and it just happened to do it. It's because I had been practicing on TikTok and learning how to get the attention of your audience. And then when the opportunity came, I was ready for it. All of my other friends that were like creators and that, they didn't know what to do. They were just like ripping off other videos and putting them up there. They were just like taking their videos and taking a 30-second clip and putting it up there. Nobody wants to see that crap. So all the stuff that you do is like learning skills. So what I would do is like right now, I would work as hard as I could to build an audience, to get my social media going, and then to learn how to monetize it in some way and get that working, because this all works in increments, and you want to get many revenue streams and audiences on different platforms so that everything's a roller coaster. And if you're on one, it's no fun being at the bottom, climbing back up, right, and falling. So if you got 4 of them going, at some time, one of them might drop off the other ones are still going. So you always have one. So if Facebook's not doing good, maybe something's kicking off on TikTok. If TikTok's not doing good, then YouTube. And I would work all of that. And I would work my ass off because I would be thinking, I'm trying to save my life. You know, it's either that or sit back and wait for the government to say we're going to give everybody EVI. And then when it comes to like not near what you were making when you were working, you're like, how am I going to live up to this, right? But if you can go, the thing that tickled me the most about Whatnot when I first got on there, and it's because Gary Vee said, you don't want not live social shopping is the next thing. I said, I'll give it a try for some stuff, right? But we weren't YouTube and Facebook. The way I do it is I make a video and I say BOGO, they go to my shop to buy it. And when I got on Whatnot, and with the first month, like every week that I went on, like one night, I remember telling my wife I came out and I did this. She was inside; she wasn't even signed in. I did it for a couple months before she even signed in. And I went back in and she said, "How did it go?" And I said, I made more in an hour and a half. I said, than I used to make working all week. And I said that kind of just blew my mind. And then did it again. And then I was like, I make more tonight than we used to make all month. And then if you have that going, you've still got that going, and you still got, YouTube, Facebook, you still put a video when we come over here on Whatnot. And you guys know when we come on Whatnot, I could sit here and just sell stuff for hours and hours, right? And we came on last night and I said, I only have this much to sell. It's because I've got a finite inventory because I've only got so many machines running. We're in an old house. I can't have like too many going without all the circuit breakers tripping. So I can only sell so many at one time. But if I could have more, I could just come on Whatnot and just sell. I could come on here every day and just sell. What if I came on like every day and make $2,000? Go ahead and get out your calculators and like add that up. Say $1,000 a day, 300 days, that's $300,000 a year, right? You make 300 grand a year. Of course, you've got the supplies and this and that. Everybody's like, well, what about this? What about that? That's running business. That's all part of business. So you only cleared 100 grand. You made 100 grand from coming home for a couple hours a night, right? Whereas I was like, busting my ass working. I was working fast food. I was working as a hospitality industry. I was working as a manager, working like 80 hours, right? I was there before the sun came up and opened the doors, and we were gone before we leave at night. The sun was gone. We didn't see the sun all day unless we walked out of the restaurant. And now you can come on. All of you guys can come on, even if you don't do all of this. If you just use like Facebook Marketplace, you can go around and find things. All you have to do is find something that's cheaper than somebody else is willing to pay for it. And you can make some money. There's so many opportunities, but people just won't do it. So it depends on like what you got the grit for, how much you want to do it. And before, when we were doing it, my motivation was I was tired of driving all over God's country. Some people flew us like from here, Florida, to New Jersey, or we went to Normal, Illinois, or Indiana. We went to Texas. They were flying us around. Denver. We went out to Denver. Kilo's painting and doing artwork. But we're getting tired of just like being gone all the time. So my motivation was to build this up. And I told her once I built this up, that it wasn't going to happen overnight. It was like, hey, we can stop doing the artwork, stop doing the murals, and now I'm a content creator. It's that while we were on the road and doing that, I was over there doing videos, right? So that's where when people go, I don't have time, I've got a job, I got this, this and this and this. You don't just all of a sudden flip a switch. So you got to start somewhere. And that's what I would do. We would be on the road, and we were like 2.5 hours away, 2 hours away. and we wouldn't get done till like 8 or 9. And so I'm like, we'll grab some fast food and get on the road, get home. And he was like, let's just spend the night. Why don't you just spend the night? And it was on a weekend. I'm like, I got to be home because 35 people are expecting a video tomorrow. We would drive all the way. We'd be tired as hell, and we would drive all the way home. I'd make a video and put a video out, and I had 35 fucking subscribers. And there's people out there, there's some of you out there that have way more than that and don't pay that much attention to them. And I've seen them when there's some of you have been watching channels and stuff too, and some people watch videos and people ask questions and you don't answer them. And each one of those, or you put out a video, views, and you're like, this isn't working. But if you went in your hometown, went to the library, and said, I'm going to do a presentation, and you're in a small room in the library, and they packed 100 people in there, you'd feel like you were the next best thing, right? That there's all these people in there. But then you get 100 views, and it seems like it's nothing. Thanks for the raid. Oh, we got another raid? Or is that the same one? Oh, my comments are not moving. Anyhow, all of that, like I said, is there's a massive shift in the labor market coming. If you've got a stable job or one of these that we're talking about, a raid is like all of us here. When we get done, I can click on and look for another show, and it'll take all of us and drop us into that other show. So like when someone else's show was done, they all pop in. So the host kind of finds who's there. He sees my channel, and they all pop in over here. That's another pretty cool thing on Whatnot. That's what I like. That's over here. I think they're getting ready to do that on YouTube and that too. But there's a ton of ways. So like I said, you don't do it overnight. It's not like you just switch. So we'd be working, and I was doing videos, commenting, answering people. And guys, that's where you got to do it. That's where I see a lot of people make a mistake. Last night with the cookie, yeah, like the cookie channel. We all went over to the cookie channel. They were crazy last night, weren't they? The DJ thing was going on, but it was amazing. It was nuts. Somebody had a 40 cookie giveaway. These are like big ass cookies. They're like $6 cookies, $6, $7 cookies, right? They had like 2 or 3 were like 40. One was 40 packs. My freezer was like packed. I kept trying to get back to you. Where are you, Carol? It was 3 or 4. Yeah, there was a lot, wasn't there? That's crazy. Each one of those like $240, I think. But yeah, like I was saying, so it depends on how much y'all want it and what you want to do. And if you need to make money like quickly, that's why I said the one problem I see a lot is a lot of people actually there's a lot of programs out there. Like I've got this program. I'm just trying to just help y'all out. Like I said, we started with just $27 lifetime membership, and I was going to go up. I'm just leaving it like that until I actually start making the resources. I got to figure this out because, like I said, everything that I make, and then if I use AI to do it, I know that somebody else can do it too. That there's no sense of me like making something, showing you guys how to take it and implement it and how to make money, and like in a short time it'll be like obsolete. So right now I'm just kind of struggling with how we can get like quick wins. But the one thing that the way to grow an audience is not to sell them. And like right now I sell these products and that, but I've also been on here for like 8 years helping people out, right? So that's how you grow your channel, is just keep putting out valuable content. And content can be education, teaching people something, or it can be entertainment or inspiration. But people got to get value from it. And if you can do that, you keep doing it, especially on YouTube and Facebook, Whatnot. That's why I like you, because people over on Whatnot with their credit cards already in, they're going into auctions. They know what they're there for, right? YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, those people aren't signing into YouTube thinking somebody's going to sell them something. They know that people are doing it all the time, but they're not going there with the intention that somebody's going to sell them. They're going to buy something, like on Whatnot. So what you got to do on those channels is give people value, and that's how you grow an audience. And 99% of those people might never buy anything from you, and you might help some people out to where you change their lives. But that's the way social media goes, and that's how you can grow an audience. If you get on from the very beginning and you're just hammering, just nickel and diming them to death and saying, buy my merch, can you buy me a coffee, can you donate, like, subscribe, you keep asking them for stuff, you're never going to grow an audience. So the people that grow right now, because it's interest based, the people come on and the audience engages with them because they like what they see, they like what they're there for, and they're not because they're there just buying shit, right? So that's the tough thing, is if you're trying to use social media to make money, you can't do it unless you've already got a presence, like you're a store or you're a brand, and you come on and they know that you've got a product in that. If you're just a person and it's your first time and you come on and you show them a little video and then you go, by the way, buy this. How many times do you think they're going to come back? So that's why I want y'all to get started. Like when I said the first week, I just said, get out your phone, just get used to making a video, just do a short video. Hey, I'm Mike Van Doozy, and I just started, nice to meet you, Matt. Say hello in the comments to me or whatever. Let me know where you're from. Hey, this is Mike, it's a wonderful day today, but we got rain on the way. I got to go out in the garden and get stuff ready, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Hey, here's a butterfly. Look at this butterfly. Anybody know what kind that is? Right? Just so you guys get used to grabbing your phone and getting a video and just get content out there. And then if somebody comments something, comment back to them. Get used to that engagement. Just start doing that so that becomes second nature. That becomes where if you're doing something in your garden or you're on the road or something happens and there's a spur of the moment, you're like, that would make a good video. Then you're not like, I don't have my camera, right? That way you grab your phone and you won't go, okay, what aspect ratio am I supposed to use? And should I put a filter on this? Do I need a microphone? Is the wind blowing? All of those things you work through by putting content out, by doing it. And don't worry about people. You put it out. If it's a crappy video, nobody's going to see it anyway. First 3 people are going to swipe away and they won't show it to anyone else. And you keep doing that. What you're doing is you're practicing. You're at the price station and it's your first day, right? And I didn't just throw you over there and then have to play with the hot grease, right? But it's not difficult. It's like, fill this much fries in the fry basket, put it in, press a timer. When the timer comes on, let it drain, dump it in the hopper, put this much salt on it, put this much in it. I can train you like 2 minutes, but you're not going to get good. You're going to be clumsy at it, right? But then if I come back to like a month and you're still at the price station, you're over there doing it with your eyes closed, right? That's what you all got to do with social media. Don't be afraid of people out there making fun of you, saying bad things, or putting out a video and not getting any views. Just put stuff out there and keep trying to figure out what you're going to do to bring somebody value. And even if you touch 3 or 4 people, they're going to be commenting back and saying thank you. That helped me. I can't see what people say, subscribe, I'm not going to. Tell me. Yeah, and then that's up to you. Second case, I hated it too. I don't want all of you guys to compare yourself to me too, because I like doing things the hard way. So if you go back through my channel and you look at all my videos, there's hundreds of videos. I think there was over 1,000. I deleted some, got rid of some, tried to clean it up a little bit. So I had over 1,000 videos on my channel. Go back through them, look, see how many of them say like, subscribe. There was a little period that I put like a little icon would come up, a little graphic pop up with the little thumbs up, right? I think I said it in a couple, but I didn't say it in all of it. And I grew all my channels. I'm on YouTube right now. I've got over 300,000 followers, and I don't have that call to action all the time. But I guarantee you that if I did like everyone else, I said, hey, the first like 30 seconds, I said, if you don't mind, click like or subscribe. It helps out the channel. I guarantee you I would have 1 million followers right now. That's a call to action. That does work. I don't like doing it, and I want to show people that if you don't like doing it, like that he don't like doing it, that it's possible. So I still grew an audience, even though I didn't do it. So I do a lot of things on my channel that's not traditional. And when all the goobers are saying you have to do it a certain way, I'm stubborn and I try to do it against what they say. I do the opposite. And a lot of times I do fail. And if I don't, it makes me feel good that everybody was saying you can't do that, and I freaking did it anyway. But that's like my nature. I always do like that. I'm like a sick person that way. Most people can't do that. Most people don't have a stomach for it. So they say do things a certain way, do it that way, and then that works. But I want to show people that you don't have to be like everyone else. To me, I can't breathe if I think that we're all in a room together. I was on this one live stream, and this was the nicest thing that somebody's done to me on a live stream. 4 of us were on a live stream, and for some reason that night we all had like the same color, like we all had blue shirts on or blue background. All 4 of them, it looked like we're all brand, like we all got the memo on what to wear, and we all looked the same. And we were talking, when it came around to me, I was like distracting there, like, what's wrong? I said, I don't know. I just feel weird. I said, when things are all the same like this, I can't breathe, whatever. And they without saying anything, like one of them disappeared, their screen went off, they were gone. And he came back and he had a different shirt on. And then somebody else left. All of them took turns. They came back and like changed the light or their shirt, and there was the red one, the yellow. And that made me feel good. That was like really nice. But that wasn't like being funny or anything. That's just the way I am. And if everybody says like you can't run a YouTube channel or you can't do all these channels at one time, you need to focus on one. When they say you can't do something, I do it just because I can't follow what everybody does. And that's why I work for myself. Every job that I work in, I was a lousy employee. I don't get along with other people, and I try to. And it's just thinking if there's 100 people in a room and we're all the same, it makes me feel like suffocating. I have to be different, and not to stand out, not to, like that I want everybody to see me. I just can't stand to be like everybody. I don't know. So if you guys are like that, or even if you're not, I want to show you that there's lots of different ways. So lots of things that I do, you don't have to do it like me. I'm doing it the hard way. I get a camera. Everybody's starting YouTube, just like now. They're all getting fancy cameras. You guys have phones that shoot 4K video, right? You guys have phones that do slow motion. We had to have special cameras to do that back in the day, right? You guys have a phone that you can do it with and have B-roll and all of that. I started out and I had a Nikon Coolpix, and it was bright red, no interchangeable lens. It was just a point shoot, not that many settings on it. And I started like that. And if you go back to my very first video on like YouTube, it was me. It looks like a silly video, but I was testing how to shoot and how to make a video and how to upload it and just get it on. I didn't care if it got any views or not. I think it still only has like a couple hundred views, and it's been on there for like 8 years, 10 years. But I had that, and I struggled with it, and I used it. And even though my channel wants to start generating low income, that's what you need to do. Is when you start generating income, you put it back in. You start paying for your music or a better editor or better lighting or a mic. You put it back in. And one thing I did not change was the camera. And I made my mind up from the very beginning. I said, I'm going to get 10,000 followers on YouTube with this crappy camera before I even change it, whether I've got the money to or not. And through that year, the next year, I was growing in. I started working with other creators. We started something called the Creator Spotlight Show. And I told them I was up to 9,000 followers. And all those people are like, oh, wow, you've got 9,000. They were all coming on and they had like 100, 200 followers. And I had 9,000. but I had been working on it, and I had the crappy camera, and all of these people were in there had all these $3,000, $5,000 cameras, Adobe Suite, all these editing things that they're paying for music. I was using YouTube free music. They were paying for music. They were paying for all this stuff. They were up all night editing, doing all this fancy crap, and I had a shitty little camera, and I went out. It was Christmas, and I was at 9,500, and I'd bought a camera, the next one, which was Canon M50. Had a flippy screen, right? And I had it before I hit 10,000, but I didn't use it. I wouldn't even open the box. And I was on a podcast with this other guy who started the show with me, and I told him, I said, I've got that. And he was going, oh, that's cool, camera, get it out. You know, start. I said, I'm not using it. I said, I've got to hit 10,000 first, just so I know I can do it. I set that goal from the beginning. I said, I'm going to use this crappy camera, and I'm going to get to 10,000 followers before I upgrade anything. And I did it. And then I didn't make a big deal about it. I didn't make a video or anything. That was just something personal that I did. And now that story's in my back pocket, and I can tell that story to you. And nobody else out there can do that unless they start from zero and work their way up to 10,000 followers with some piece of crap right now, right? Nobody has that story right now, but I do. And it's because I was stubborn and I did it. And that's just the way I am. So that's the way, like, I do everything. When you make a video, do you use storyboard or just swing it? Me, I just wing it. If I could, I would make a storyboard. I've tried it a couple times. There's one video that's like gaining traction right now. It's just because it's negative. I said I was going to end the microgreen industry. And it's talking about like the fallacy with microgreens and stuff like that. And grow. I had a lot of shit. Like all these microgreen growers were just like attacking me. And it was funny as hell. They make videos about me and that, and people are like, Mike, they're talking shit about you. I didn't even look at the videos. I'm like, I don't slow down. I don't partake in drama. It doesn't bother me. They can talk all the shit they want about me. What I said in my video, I meant, and I will stand by it. And I don't need to respond to anybody. They can do all the reactions and talk all the shit they want. But I'm who I am, and that's it. And it doesn't bother me. You can praise me all you want, or you can talk shit about me all you want. It doesn't faze me like in the least a little bit. But that one video that aggravated people, I did script that one out, and I put a lot of like graphics and things like that. And all my other ones, I just kind of wing it. That's what works for me. That's the way my brain is. That's why I said you guys can't compare yourself to me. You just got to get out there and whatever works for you. The main thing is that you get out and make content and start putting stuff out in your own way. All of my other stuff that happens, I should be getting and writing down all these different figures and everything, and getting up organized. But I work in chaos. And that's why, like this, I could sit down, chat GPT, and I could write an outline, and I wrote one before, and I just don't, I can't like just do it, but I could write an outline, I could get a syllabus, I could get it, and I could be selling this. And I could like I said, I'm serious when I'm saying that this can sell for like $1,200. I put it up for $1,200 because people have already offered me that much money for it. But I don't have like the thing built out yet because it's something like that. It's ever changing. I'm still working. I'm patient. I've been working with people for years, and so they'll think, my God, well, something like this go up. It didn't work. All of this is part of the process. This isn't like what we've been doing for the past couple of months. This is what we've been doing for the past couple of years. And I've been working with like a bunch of people and going through all of this because everything's always changing. And things that we did 6 years ago is not pertinent anymore today. Another raid. Loopy, Angela, thank you for the raid. If y'all like seeds, I'll throw you another. How many people are in here? 38. Y'all want an Amazon gift card? If y'all want a $20 Amazon gift card on whatnot, double tap the screen. And we'll throw one up there. And this guy, see this one, like came on here, right? I haven't sold anything. No sales, right? Had 2 giveaways. It's going to be a 3rd giveaway. This just, you got to do some things that help other people out. So like that, right? Getting that giveaway, YouTube, Facebook. If you jump on over there, see, I didn't even take the time to write that website, please. What website are you looking for, Karen? I remember that time. Hey, Tish, do you? Hope they see Tish was in here. That's why I said that was the nicest thing. You know, when everybody came back on and they just changed. They didn't even say anything, and I looked up and everybody was like different. Hold on one second. Let me get the link, whatnot. Y'all jump over to whatnot. If you make an account, this is only 5 minutes until this runs. I might do another one before the end of the night, but I forgot. I wasn't planning on doing this, guys. I don't have the link right offhand. Let me get it. And if you go on over to whatnot, you get a $15 credit to shop with. I guess I could have just went over. Here we go. And if you get in the giveaway, there's a $20 Amazon giveaway. We might have another one before the end of the night. And if you want to be in the private group, we've got that over there. Select the membership, $27 right now. It's going to be $35 a month or $1,200 for a lifetime membership. Y'all can have it for $27 right now because it's not built out. We're actually building it out right now. And we're using it. Yours, here we go. This is the Whatnot stream. And you're on Facebook. And then I'm on YouTube too. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I forgot. So if you jump on that right now, if you jump over there, you got to fill out your information. You might not be in time for the giveaway, but I'll have another one. If you get over there now, I'll have another one. It's 2 minutes and 50 seconds. $2 minutes and 50 seconds. And guys, if you get in our group, all right, like Facebook, we're in a private group, and I just showed them all the stuff that we've been doing. I showed them different figures. I showed them like I made like off of Facebook like $800 a month, $800 last month on Facebook. It might go down to $200 a month. It might go up to $7,000 a month. It depends on how much content you put out. And like I said, that I don't put out a ton of content on like all of them. I lean into what's working. So if there's more attention going to one or the other, or traffic's like dipping, I'll go check out another one. And so I put up Etsy. Our sales so far, it was over 200 grand. I think it was it 218 or 281 or something. I have to go check it out. I keep track, but we made over 200 grand in sales on Etsy. I put it in there, and that's all from us. No Zoom meeting, no bonbon. We're doing this. I was live streaming on the other YouTube channel. I've got one called Cod Cafe, and we'll be live streaming from there. I might have another Zoom meeting just so we can talk. But once a month, I'm going to be doing this, going out to the public, have our talk, where just random people can come and find it and ask questions and just help people in general. This is just part of the like what I teach about giving value and just helping people out. That's how you build channels. Is that you don't think like I'm just going to go live and try to sell people something. So you go on to whatever channels you want and just whatever information you have that you might help somebody else, you give away that information for free. So that's what we're doing this time. Once a month. I'm going to be doing a show where I live stream. Next month, if I get the internet working right, I'm going to have Instagram and TikTok go live at the same time too. So there's going to be like 4 or 5 different platforms that will be live doing helping people. It's pretty cool. I 25 seconds on that Amazon card. And guys, if you go over to Whatnot, that's something like you guys need to make money like right now. You need to make money, right? There's no way you can start social media. It takes years. You got to build an audience. You got to build trust. And if you go and clean out your garage or your basement or your attic, whatever, you get over on Whatnot, sell stuff, you can make money like today. Here we go. Chan Lee. Congratulations, Chan. You got a $20 gift certificate on your way. Yes. Yes. But yeah, so that's what our group's about. It's not like we're going to get in there and I'm just going to teach you how to do it Instagram or whatever. I'm not an Instagram influencer. In fact, I get crap from creators for like years and years because I don't call myself a creator. I don't call myself an influencer and that. And they get upset. They're like, you know, you say you're not a creator or whatever. I'm like, I treat all this like a business, and all of the social media platforms for that are my tools. So Whatnot's a tool. I love it. You get to sell live. The community's great. Everybody's over here, like everybody saying, congrats, thank you. We have a blessed chat. Sometimes I don't have it in what you call it, but when I have it available, people buy it. YouTube and Facebook, they buy like my adapters. It's called Blessed Chat. They pay for it. I run a giveaway just like you ran a giveaway. It goes out to whoever won the giveaway. So the person that bought it they get a little card in the mail that says thank you. So that's them. You know, the community is like awesome. I haven't seen stuff like that going on like on YouTube and Facebook and everything. And you jump on like YouTube and start selling people something. Then you got people like, oh, you're still out and stuff. I've got people who say like, I've followed you for 8 years and I'm done with you, right? All right. So, but Whatnot, that's what they're there for. And Whatnot, you can get organic traffic. If you get people coming like y'all hanging out here and talking, they'll keep putting you in the feed. Get organic traffic, like people popping in. Like when we come on, I'm doing the demos. You guys see there's new people all the time, right? It's tough to get like organic traffic and that. On the other platforms, it's just people like scrolling by. Once in a while, somebody like stops. You get like hundreds of people just like scrolling by, stopping for 2 seconds. But there's massive opportunity, guys. I could sit here and talk about it all night, but like I said, major shift coming. Look into it. Watch some podcasts. Listen about like AI, not silly little pictures, not the little videos. Those help us. Those are little tools. And not everyone's going to like it. You can use it. You don't have to use it. Whatever. That's the tip of the iceberg. All the other stuff that we were talking about, I was telling you about, like asking it. It can be your virtual assistant. It can give you ideas what to do. It can write you an ebook. All these, they keep telling us all these different programs. And I've been in a lot of programs, guys, where we pay like thousands of dollars to be in a program. They teach you how to make these online courses, be an online coach, do all this stuff, right? And they're all saying, have an opt-in. And an opt-in is just anything that you guys have gotten for free where they ask for your email. That's called the opt-in. So you go on over and they're like, hey, I've got this ebook, this free ebook for you. And you go, oh, cool, thanks. What's your email, right? And then all of a sudden you get spammed every day from them, right? And hey, we got this for sale. We got this for sale, right? So that's like the major playbook, like in a lot of them. And it might be an ebook. It might be a one-time consultation. It might be a checklist. It might be just any digital product that you just pick up. And that was the play for the last decade, was people doing that, offering something for free, supposedly of value, right? And that was a segue into a sales pitch for something else. All of that free stuff right now, all of those people spending millions of dollars for all these programs, all of those things are going to be obsolete because everybody, if I say, hey, I've got an ebook on off-grid hydroponics, just click the link below and go over there. And if I go, hey, you can have it with your email, they know that I'm going to be spamming or going to sell them shit. They'll just go to ChatGPT and go, tell me about off-grid hydroponics and tell me how Mike Van Dusen does it from Keep On Growing. And it will tell them free. So all of this stuff that we've been taking, that all the gurus have been saying to do as often, all of that stuff's going to go by the wayside. The only thing that's going to matter from this time out is going to go back to the hard stuff, which not everybody can stomach that. It's going to be access. It's going to be like if you guys like us right now, if I said, hey, we'll schedule a call. We're going to have to go backwards to where we were doing all the work where now you've got personal attention to a real human being instead of just something that pops up in digital product, right? That's going to go kind of by the wayside too, because all they're going to be doing is just the way I was talking to you, where you talk to them and say, give me 10 ideas, right? All right, tighten it up to 3. Give me a good hook for that. Well, what's the chance of this giving people the retention for more than 3 minutes, right? Let's tighten that up a little bit. All of that can be done now. It's just mind blowing. I hate to leave my email. Yeah, and I'll go to AI, see what's available. Yeah, see, it's already happening. So all these people are still going out there and paying thousands of dollars to do this. And I know people who have it like set up for them too. They'll pay like 5-10 grand. Think they have a course, they're an online coach, get them all set up and all that. Sell a couple of programs and that's it. The people that go through these programs and actually make it is like a handful. And then they'll find other people and put them on a pedestal and go, look, they made it, you can do it too. And people are spending like millions of dollars on this, and all of this crap's going to go by the wayside. Journey, I think, is email it. Yeah, keep on growing @gmail.com. Yeah, that's a link to the invite. Mike, can you put your email? Yeah, that's it right there. That Von just had. Keep on growing 1. Oh no, it's not. GROWIN without the G. There you go, like that. So if you've been trying to email me and you think I'm ignoring you, you might have put a G on there. And when I first started this 10 years ago, keep on growing was taken. And it said, how about keep on growing 1, and it switched the G to 1. Remember, it was like basic stuff way back then. I didn't know any better. I would just starting and said, okay. And it just stuck. I've been using it ever since. Had it right the first time. Okay, cool. Yeah, just like that. And what were you asking for? Yeah, so if anybody's bought the online membership, you should get something in the mail. It's one of these with and it's got a QR code, and that's for a private Facebook group. Y'all going over, getting that, you have to ask to be in there. Kind of give me your, if I recognize your name, if I've seen you in our chat all the time, I'll let you in. But it asks you what's your handle. So like if it's Von, but over on Facebook, you might be something else, right? So I ask you what your handle on wherever you came from, Etsy or whatnot, just so we can kind of verify it. Join. I might not have done that part. Okay, that's cool. If you haven't, if you lost that card, email me the email that I'll put up there, and just ask me, and I'll shoot you the link for the Facebook group. Cool. What time? 10 o'clock, guys. Any questions? Like I said, we're going to be doing this. This is just the beginning, right? I want you guys to think long term. You're not going to come in and learn everything at once. If I try to teach, I can sit and make a syllabus. I can go ahead and just cram it full of information. I can go and GPT to write a syllabus, to write me an outline, right? And then they'll give me a little short outline. And I'll say, can you make that 10 paragraphs long? Can you make it 2 hours long? Can you elaborate on it? I can have this thing so stuff full of information, it'll make your head spin. And you think, wow, look at all this stuff. But if you can't go through it and learn from it, and implement it, it doesn't give you any kind of value at all, right? All the information is out there. Most of you guys need motivation to do it, right? Almost anything you can ask me, or you can ask any guru out there, or any course that you can pay for, or anything that they're out there. So you can go and ask ChatGPT, and it will tell you. All of the information is out there. All the stuff that we're doing, all these things that having this, the days where they just you sign up for something, they just give you a digital product, that's going to be going by the wayside because everybody's going to be able to get it on their own. So what you guys might need is just a motivation to do it. So like in the group, like if I say, you guys need to put out videos, you need to put out content. This is just like testing it right now to see how many people actually do it, how many people don't, who's just kind of curious. We ask that, who's curious, who's serious? And the people that say, I'm serious, how much content have they put out, right? If I had somebody like that lighting a fire under my ass when I first started, I'd have been twice as big right now. Most creators that are here today that have been working for many years, they did it on their own. There's a couple out there that are like teams and stuff like that, or maybe later after they started growing, they formed a connection, collaborated, started growing, right? Most of them started on their own. And that's why it's like really lonely. They get into all these little creator groups because there's no one, I can't go talk with like friends around here. They don't give a shit what a thumbnail is, right? So they get in all these other groups, but they were basically on their own and all of that. You guys have resources now. You've got like we can get together. You just got to get the motivation to do it. And I think if you guys can see some of the benefits, I don't want to come out. The thing is, I think a lot of people are looking at, especially when you go to these programs and they charge a lot of money. They'll have like a couple of cases like so and so made $5 million. You can do it too. They don't tell you, they'll say it was easy. They won't tell you might have worked his ass off for 20 years. He might have been sleeping on the floor of some office for 2 years, right? He might have been eating dog shit for 3 years, right? They're going to tell you it's easy. Just do this and go to a Facebook group and get some value to people, and they're all going to be throwing the money at you. A lot of folks don't want to teach others because they don't want others to be better. Yeah, like we're teaching. And you guys, especially if you're coming from my channel, the garden channel, you guys are going to be my competition, right? If you're doing, and what did I tell all of you too? It's not like some of you, if I'm like, good, you're a traditional gardener. I don't do that. I do hydroponics. You're not in my lane, right? I tell you guys, go do this. You can do this in 7 to 10 days. You can't grow a garden in 7 to 10 days. You guys, in 7 to 10 days, you can have content. You can have videos that you can put out. You can look at my channel. You can see what I do. Make videos kind of like I do and put them out. And you're my competition. And that doesn't bother me because you have to be better than me. If you want to beat me, you're going to have to be better than me. And I'm not afraid of that. So if you want to try, you do it. And I will help you try. I will help you try to beat me. But that's just because I'm a sicko, just like all the other stuff we talked about, right? We've been doing this for years. I've been telling people, take my ebook. They buy my ebook, $10. Not a big investment, right? Take my ebook, take it word for word, take my name out, put your name in there. Take my picture out, put your picture on the front. Sell that ebook. Get my online course, take it, transcribe it, read it word for word, and put your name in instead of my name. And you narrate it, take a couple pictures of your microgreens in it, and now you have a course that you can put up on Thinkific and you can sell it. It doesn't bother me. There's 8 billion people out there in the world. If I could, I'd be a billionaire right now if I could sell to everyone, right? I can't get to everyone. So your crowd might be a little different than mine. It's not plagiarism. They're taking and doing it in their own word. And if I tell them they can do it, it's not. Plagiarism is when somebody says, this is copyrighted, this is my property, you can't copy it. If I say, go take my ebook and do it. Somebody took my ebook exactly as it is, didn't change anything. Then it has my picture, has everything, and they put it up on fucking Amazon, and they're selling it on Amazon as their own. I get people all the time saying, yo, Mike, is this you? It's another channel, or it's another this. We get, when you guys get into analytics, you start making videos, you get analytics, you go back, you can see your viewer retention, your click-through rate, all the stuff that we can go through. You can look at all this. There's one thing that's on there that's your content ID, and it tells you if other people are using your stuff. It'll tell me so many people, this person used 100% of your video in their video. So that means they just ripped my video off and uploaded it up as their video. So you click over there and they're just running your video. Some will say they use 50% of your video. They took part of it and stuck it in. So people might be having commentary. All of those that pop in over the years, not once did I go to any of those channels because it says contact that creator. You can contact them. You can ask them to take it down. You can make a copyright strike. You can do all that. Not once has I told anybody to do anything with it. Because that's me. If they want to put me up there, they can pretend to be me. They're not me. And the worst that's going to happen is somebody else sees the video and learns how to grow food. Right? If you can start doing stuff like that, get in that mindset. If you guys get on here and start thinking like everybody else does, and this is the thing where we say like 99% of the other people are doing this, they're worried. They're like, mine. And if you haven't got the clout, you haven't got the reputation, and you haven't got the audience yet, and you're worried about all of that, you're going to get an ulcer. If somebody takes something of yours and repost it, and you're sitting there arguing and bitching with them, that's mine. And what if they do take it down or whatever? Or what if you do get it back? Or what if you get them in trouble? What has that helped you? You lost time, and you can't never get that back. So you wasted time, you got an ulcer, you're worried about it, and that took away time that you could have been creating more content and helping more people and doing positive things instead of worrying about somebody took your video. So all of these things that happen, my adapters, people are out there printing my adapters and selling it with my name on it. They look white, right? But they got keep on growing on it. You can see it raised. I put it, you can barely see it. People print it just like that. Ask me for a file, I'll just use it for personal use, right? Next thing I see it on Amazon, right next to my stuff that I was selling. Or Etsy. I'm looking through, Etsy will take the stuff and like promote it. I'm looking at the Weather Channel. For some reason, Etsy shows me my own stuff. I don't know why. I'm not going to buy my own things, right? Maybe it's to show me, hey, your stuff's being put out there or whatever. So I'm looking at the Weather Channel and my adapters are popping up. Right next to it is somebody else selling my adapters. I got people calling and complaining and bitching to me that theirs fell apart or it didn't fit right and all of that. And I'm like, all right, give me your order number so I can look it up and I'll get you some more, whatever. And when the order number comes in, it's for another Etsy channel that's not mine. And I explained it to them, that's not me. Because they argued with me for 2 days. I'm like, I can't find you anywhere. And they're like, I bought it from you. And I said, I can't find it. You have to give me a number. Going back and forth. Finally, they find a number. I'm like trying to explain where to find it. I'm like, that's why I couldn't find it. You didn't buy it from me. You know what I did? I replaced items. That other person got the money for it. They gave them a shitty product. They came back and was complaining to me, and I gave them. Because the more time I worry about it, and then if I go over and argue about it for them, I'm taking away my time that I can be doing more productive stuff. We all only have 1,440 hours or minutes in the day, right? All of us have the same time, and once that time is gone, you can never get it back. And the more time you waste on negative stuff, the more you're going to get fired down and all the money. Once you start getting big, got a name, you can worry about all that, right? In the beginning, you guys just got to focus on the positive and just keep leaning in on that. But that's just me. Like I said, I'm not like everybody else. Everybody's out there, me, they're copying me, right? All you see these days is folks with a private capital. Yeah, and they got a lot of money. Yep. It's all about, but everybody's got to make money. I can't fault anybody. They're out there. If you're trying to rip people off for fraud, it's one thing. But people are making money. So that's like I said. If people, I understand that not everybody can do what I do. That's my. When I first started all this creators, I said, no, for 6 years, to me, I feel like I'm just bringing normal, just all of us, we're all the same. And if I can do something, I figure everyone can do it. But uh, I enjoy doing it so much that I work from sun up to sundown, not thinking I have to do it because I enjoy it that much. We haven't been on vacation, so I finally took my wife. We went to St. Augustine. You know, so we went to St. Augustine was because we were talking a couple weeks ago, and I said something about I've been on vacation for like 7 years or whatever. And when we were done with the stream, I was like, Jesus, that means Keely wasn't either. And I thought she was supporting me and knowing that I was doing, and I enjoy what I was doing, but I don't think she enjoys it as much as I do, right? She might have needed a vacation. So that's why I took her out to St. Augustine. And even when we were out walking around, I asked if you wanted to live stream. I tried not, I didn't live stream. And I was trying not, but I still filmed. I can actually make some videos of us walking around downtown by the beach and everything. It's like being an influencer or whatever, which I don't like seeing. Our lunch came and we were eating, and I had the camera out instead of like normal people and just ordering lunch and having lunch. She got her meal and she took it before she took a bite. She like pushed it over towards me, waited for me to take a picture, film it with the little GoPro. She took it and tried it. Then I stood up and everybody's sitting there. We were on the second floor and you can see out to the bay in St. Augustine. I had to walk over with the camera and look outside, right, and sit back down. So even the first day that we took off, I still couldn't be like normal. Feeding the nation, you truly are. Yeah, we're trying, seeing if you guys see, especially you guys who are in the garden, whatever you're in, you're helping people, you're just entertaining. You're helping people need a good laugh nowadays, especially after like going for the last 2 hours. People need a good laugh. But if you're out there giving value, like if you're in the garden today, times are tough right now. You guys are in like golden opportunity. You're gonna see like some of my videos. I think the last one that I just did, Joey, welcome to the group. The last video I did was saying times are tough. Learn to grow your own food, something like that, right? All of you should be doing that. Like, AI is going to take all the jobs. What are you going to do? You should be growing your own food. Go ask AI, what video should I make if people are worried about half the population losing their job and we all need to be more self-sufficient and asking questions, they'll pop you out different ideas and sit and talk back and forth just like you would with me. You guys have the tools in that to do things. You and Keely deserve more of us. Yeah, but this is what people don't think too. We worked together for 25 years, 1999. I think I quit my job and I started working with her. It was right around the millennium. That's 25 years. Get out your calculators. All right. So before that, I was working 40 or 80 hours in the hospitality industry. So I was gone like all the time. Right. And we didn't each have away that. I started working with her 25 years ago. We worked together. We've been together every single day for 25 years. That would have been 40 hours a week, right? That take 40 hours times 50 weeks, but like 2,000 hours. 2,000 hours in a year that I got to spend with her that I would have been spending at a job somewhere. I take 2,000 hours and multiply that by 25 years. And I got to spend that much more time with my wife than most people who are out working a job. So I got that to be thankful for. Is it 27 or a month? No, it's 27. This is a one-time deal. This is because it's not built out yet. We're building it out because this is what you guys are the guinea pigs. I'm explaining to you guys what to do. I'm saying who takes action, who doesn't, why did they not take action, and I'm actually building it out. This is going to be something that's going to go out to the public. When it does, that's going to be at a minimum $35 a month or lifetime membership. Right now I'm thinking 1,200, which is like about 3 years worth. But right now, you guys, because it's not built out and you're helping me, just like all of this, when I'm getting your feedback, I'm listening to what you guys are saying that. And I've been doing this for years, getting feedback, because y'all are helping me. You get the one-time deal. So once you're in, you're like in for good. You're going to be like one of the OGs. Once we open it up, people start paying a monthly fee. You guys are always in. And that's what I'm saying. You guys have the opportunity. Just you got the internet. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, people didn't have this opportunity. You can reach people around the world. Okay? People can be watching videos, you can monetize, you can be making money when you sleep. You got that. You've got AI now helping you out. People that just what we were talking about, just asking the questions. All the stuff you could be asking me, you could sit down and talk with that for like half a day, and you would feel like 10 times smarter about the internet and what to do, and probably get motivated to do some stuff. You've got access to me. If I started out back then, like I said, most creators are on their own. And there was another creator with 100,000 followers or 200,000 or 1 million. And they said, "Oh, yeah, you got any questions?" Right? And he said, "Well, I can do this. I would be both to do that. I didn't have that. I didn't have 99% of the creators out there that are starting, all these people, there's millions of people. There's like 30 million people trying to be a creator. Most of them have no help. Now imagine if those people out there, that's why I said once we get this dialed in and I put it out, I know there's going to be people that will want it. There's people, especially with what's coming, people's jobs start going away. You say, hey, you grow an audience, you make revenue. And we do it in a real way, not just by me giving you a course that ChatGPT made up, right? That's what I'm working towards. If I told people that, I don't want to just tell them that. I want it to be true. I want them to actually do it. So that's why I'm working with people. And I can't twist people's arms to do something, but I say, hey, you should do this, this, and this. And then I watch, see how many people do it, how many people don't. Why did they do it? Why didn't they? Did I not give enough instructions? Is it too hard? Right? Are they not interested? Do they not think the payoff is worth it? So all of these questions are going through it. And believe it or not, all of this stuff is going to get fed into AI and ask it, what can I do next? Well, this didn't work. So what should we do next? So I'll be making resources to help people out all of this. But we're taking like 8 steps right now. So that's why people get in on the ground floor for this $27. It's just to put a little bit of skin in the game. And believe it or not, like I told people, we have like a little Zoom meeting. And I told them there, I said, I'm going to give you $27 worth of value just right now. So if you don't hear anything else, this is the only conversation. This is worth $27 at least. This is worth thousands of dollars. And I do that right now. How many people like, what I told them tonight is worth at least like just $27. And if I tell you stuff, if we talk about that attention, is the best arbitrage, right? Everything comes down to attention. That's what we work on. Is you can have the best product, you can build the best stuff. AI is going to help you build everything. If you can't get attention, all of it means nothing. And that's what we're working on. Of course, it was worth 27. Thank you, definitely. So that's what we work on. And if you guys go back and watch Karen, welcome to the group. You guys go back and watch my last couple of videos, my last reel, especially on Facebook. And I came out and told people in the group I was going to drop it. I had it ready Wednesday. So I'm going to wait for Friday because I know there's more people. Plus, I didn't have enough inventory. I said I could just take orders, but then people would be behind. So I waited till Friday. And then I had a time to make a short. And I didn't drop it at the same time. I waited till the next day. So that first video started working, started driving sales. The next day I dropped a short, which I knew would get more. And if you go look, it's got over 100,000 views. I told you I took the time to make that one. It was just harvesting these. you guys watch me grow this, right? You guys watch me grow this from a pea, right? And I took it in like an hour. I put it down here, video. I edited it, did a video, and then I took that and I said, okay, I could just upload this, put one out for the sake of having a video. I said, I'm going to take it now. I'm going to make a short out of it on my own. I'm not going to get into AI and just trust it to give me a clip, right? And go look at my reel that I put out. It's got like 100,000 views, and compare that to like if you just took my long form video and cut 30 seconds out of it, and watch. There's somebody just dropped a video in our group. Maybe we'll do it in the group. I want to go over it because there were several things on it. There was no hook in the very beginning. It just started out. If you start your video like, "Hey, I'm Mike Van Doozy from Keep On Growing," and, you know, just long boring stuff, then people are gone. You know, and that's what we talk about. The thumbnail. If you put a thumbnail, that's your first impression that people see. You got to really work on that. Before I work on content, people are working asking me about mics and lighting and all of this stuff, and they can't make a freaking thumbnail. We're like, nobody's gonna see your lights. Nobody's gonna hear what you're saying in that because nobody's gonna click on your video. So the first thing you need to do is learn how to make a good thumbnail on that. There's just a ton of things you got to go through that just gets attention. So if you watch my videos, there's pacing to it, right? And I found out over the years, just making videos, if I put one out, it's just like I grew some pea microgreens. We're gonna harvest it. All right. So let me get them down here. Let me go get the scissors and we'll get to it. How many people keep watching? But in the very beginning, some of the videos I saw won't show anything. You know, say we're going to do this, but it's not showing anything, right? Go look at my videos in the very beginning. I show you the payoff. I show you like even if it's 2 seconds, I show you a big shot of this, or the stuff that got grown in the yard, or something that grabbing the chicken, or milk jugs popping up, something that's going to stop you for a second. I got to stop you for that 1 second, just so that you hang out, right? So all this stuff I've been like preaching and saying, and I make a video and don't have anything on it, even close or even attentive. And those are like the most important things. So they're focused on all this other stuff that's not going to make a bit of difference if you can't grab somebody and hold their attention. So that's what we're do a lot. Like I said, and mainly it's going to be motivation and help people out. So guys, and some of you that just joined and everything, the first people got in, some people are just curious. But if you're going to get in there, this is going to be like pushing you to like do stuff. That if you just are curious, need information, this you can always email me and I'll answer a question or whatever. And like I said, most of that information you can ask ChatGPT, it'll tell you, right? So if you really want to, you're serious about it, you know, those are the people that we're going to be kind of focusing on and kind of getting more streamlined into getting into the group. And it's people that I want them to succeed. I want you guys, I want people, like I said, I want you to get motivated. And you might need a little push in the beginning, but once you guys start doing it, you start getting traction, or start getting people saying, thank you, you helped me. And then you get your first commission from affiliate sales, and then you get monetized. You know, when these things start adding up, start coming together, then you're going to get excited. Go, what's next? What's next? What can I do next? Right? But if you never start, you're going to do any of it. There's no one thing that you can go out there and just do and just say, I'm going to be monetized and make a bunch of money at it. You know, the channels that you see that do that, Google it too. Don't take my word for it. Go Google it and say, how many YouTube channels make over 100,000 a year? How many YouTube channels have over 1 million followers? How many content creators, how many of them make more than poverty level, right? And go and look. And there's some that do, and the ones that you see is going to be less than 1%. because there's millions of people trying to do it. There's millions of people that you're competing with, and the ones that you see that succeed is less than 1%. But there's a lot of people out there. If you guys aren't looking to be the next Mr. Beast or Mark Rober or anything, right? There's a lot of people out there that might be happy with $1,000 a month. Would that help you out? Would an extra? How many people would like $2,500 a month? Would that help you out right now? And even if you didn't need it, that you could take that 2,500 and stick it into your bank account somewhere for the end of the year, and then you'd have 5, 10, 20, 30, you'd have like 30 grand or whatever, right? Would that help? So there's a lot of people that they're thinking, I'm going to get out there and I want to be the next big influencer, right? But what if you gone over? I started out, and when we moved up here, you go back and look at my old videos, and we're on a farm. We were farm hands, and I started this channel over there. If we were still there, our videos would be blown up because we were filming our backyard. When I was filming there, and we were on a pond, and we had deer walking by, wild turkey, taking care of horses and donkeys. There were peacocks everywhere, hawks and snakes and wildlife just everywhere. It was like a zoo, and cattle. We were living in a mobile home where when we first moved in on the other side of the property, it was actually a pasture. They would let the cattle wake up and there'd be a cow would have his head right there by your window. If we were still out there, we'd be making all kinds of videos like that. We'll get it right. I could save it for here. Cool deal. I missed something there. Hey, let me check YouTube and Facebook real quick. Wow, that's terrible. So why don't you report that the copyright? All right, I think it's 15. I'm not the copyright because I'm not worried about it. Everybody, if you want to do it, you can do it. Like I said, we've all got a certain amount of time, and I work. And this, so if I say do this, and you're competing with me, I work. I wake up, I jump out of bed, excited to get to work. She's going, pack orders, making content. I do this without going, oh, what do I got to do today? I'm going to edit a video or whatever. Right? You're competing with other people. And me, I'm a media channel. There's big channels. There's thousands of other people out there way beyond what I'm doing. And you're competing with them. So if you want to waste your time because somebody took your video or used part of your video, you can do it. You just waste the time. Every minute is precious. Every time if I do something, you can ask my wife. We're sitting in the car to go somewhere, and we're sitting at a traffic light for like 2 minutes. I'm getting antsy because that's I could have been expecting doing something else, or something happens and we're stuck in there. A truck is backing in across the highway. We're all just sitting there and waiting 5, 10 minutes for them to like back up. It gets me upset. So if you want to spend time and do copyright claims, and then what's it? They just take it off, right? You don't make any money. You won't make any money. You have to sue somebody and prove that you had damage. So, oh Lord, yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, I don't worry about it. So many great insights, very honorable financial cost. Oh, that's all right. Appreciate it. Thank you all. Who's this over here? You guys, let's. You guys who want to be over help, I'll give you the link one more time. Whatnot, y'all. Do one more. Amazon gift card. Fine, we're good. We're gonna have to try to. All right, because I love you. You're listening to my mouth tonight. There's a gift card before we go. Another $20. But you guys like I come on here. You guys have this opportunity, especially if people are already in the group. if I had access to somebody who had hundreds of thousands of followers and he said, I'm going to help you, I would be asking questions. I said, what to do next? And then I would be doing you guys the opportunity to do stuff there. There's tons of ways. Even if you're not here to make money, you just want to grow influence and you want to help people. That's doable too. Some people like I was doing it for like 8 years before I started selling people stuff. Right? You can just be showing people how to grow food, or showing people how to knit, or how to bake a cookie, or how to meditate. Right? You can be doing stuff just to put good out of it. We still need to get it. So, but you have more of an opportunity to how before. So, what we're teaching the group, we're going to talk about Gary Vee back when he first started. Right now, it's a little different, but it was all jab, 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 right? And it was helping people, and that's where a lot of you are because I was helping people, right? Except for the new people who just popped on. But some people have been following for years. How many times did I try to sell you anything over the years? And I had stuff. So I had downspouts. I had a little grow box years ago, but I never said, go check it out, go buy it, go check it. How many times have I asked people to buy my merch? Have I asked them to stick my keep on growing on the shirt and someone walk around and right? That's asking you to do something for me. When people are like, oh, I got merch, right? So if people have like a fan base and they want to, and then say, hey, I like the piece and they have it on it, right? I'm nobody. So if you keep on growing, you're basically advertising me. You're doing me a job. You're doing me a favor. So that's me asking you something. That's why all these years I focus on just helping people. They're like, hey, you can do merch. I'm like, I don't want to do merch. So if you guys can focus on just think what you can do to help people, entertain people, or whatever you want to do, you got to do something. You can't just make videos about anything. Just get out there and start doing it. I just followed you to see what else you have to say. Yeah, there won't be any. It'll keep on going. Sometimes I have a hard time to shut up. Giveaway Amazon card. Yes, $20. That one might take a day or two. I'll have to order it. But that's the thing about Amazon. Oh, that's another thing when we talk about opportunities. When I say you got internet, you've got AI now helping you. You can make your own video. You can upload. You've got a 4K camera in your pocket that I couldn't afford to get when I first started. Right? You've got all these opportunities with Amazon as much as making Jeff Bezos rich, running our business like a 3D printer before just getting these products. And you guys say like we get on whatnot, right? We're like, all right, we're running this and we're running this, right? When we're on there doing this, does anybody stop to think, oh, that's filament. They need a 3D printer, right? There's sandwich bags. Oh, there's little bags in there that they have to get. Oh, and there's labels on it. And they need a printer for that label. That's a different bag, right? And then they have to put all that in a box. And they need labels for the box. And you need tape for the box, right? So there's all this stuff. We used to have to go out and get it or order it, and try to get stuff shipped in and take weeks. Get with Amazon. I'm like, I'm out of these, buy a lot of bags. And I get on there and like the next day, it's like on my doorstep. You guys don't realize the opportunity that you all have. You don't realize as hard as it seems, it is 100 times easier than it was 10 years ago. Things are moving faster right now. Most of my growth came within the last couple of years. And it's because it's been so easy. All right, 8 seconds. Mike, I remember when you offered lifetime access to your course for $1. Yeah, I had the course. Been helping people for a long time. Thank you, Miss Mike. Who won that? Nah. Congratulations. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, like Stephen said, I've come my online course that's up there, $24.99, it's $25. I don't like sell it. It's just there. People find it. It says grow food fast. They go over, they get it, they learn the basics. I save them time, right? I don't think I've got a course. I tell people I'm saving them time because you can go watch all my videos. One person out of thousands of these came back and said, I want my money back. You know, all that information on your YouTube because you've been following me for years. I said, that's okay. I'm going to give money back. It's just like we're going back to sorry you bought it. My thing says no refunds on digital products because somebody can get it, watch it, get the information, and just go, I don't like it, right? And without arguing, here you go. Yeah, the information is out there. But if you didn't know all of the information, and instead of watching 400 of my videos, you just came on and got the information you needed, and tomorrow you can go get the stuff and start growing. How much time did I save you? How much time? How much is your time worth? So that's what, like, helping you all do all of this stuff is speeding up everything. How much is your time worth? Do you want to go watch 600 YouTube videos on how to make videos and how to get them uploaded, how to make money? Or do you want to start making content and putting it out there, start doing an audience? Right? So I'm saving you guys $27. You guys are getting access to somebody that's in the trenches right now. It's not like if I was making videos just how to make a million views on YouTube, right? I could make those and get views. Everybody's looking for that. How to make money on YouTube, right? Or Instagram. I could just be putting them out there and making views and growing that. But we're in here helping people do it. So you guys have like access to that. I didn't have. I wish I would have. There's a million creators out there who wish they would have had somebody to help them. You have access to it. You need to take advantage of it because sooner or later, guys, this will grow and grow and grow. And I won't be able to give you guys specific attention that you can get right now. If you got a question you want to come to me, in the future, you're going to have to GPT because there won't be enough time to go around there. We've all got a finite set of time, right? So, 11 o'clock. I'll let y'all go. No, she said no. Have we been on over 2 hours? Hi, guys. We're going to take off. Welcome to the group. A couple people who joined on there. I'll get yours in the mail. You get the little QR code, join the Facebook group. And let's see, I have your email. Jamie says I have your email now. We appreciate it. Thank you, Pony Up. If you guys got any questions, I try to get in my email like every day or whatever. Sometimes it takes me a while, and sometimes a lot of them get lost or get some spam. So if you don't hear back from me, try a couple times. Carol, good night. Thank you. Thank you. 4 cheese. Everybody. Yeah, everybody say good night, Matt. I said we've been on like way too long. I can sit here and talk all night. We've been doing this for like 10 years. But I want to help all y'all. Everybody has a chance to if you think you have anything that's a little value for you or like a loved one or you know somebody else in your family or friend, you think, wow, they help a lot of people all the time. There's a ton of opportunity out here. You know, just let me know. The more people that succeed, it just makes me happy. Just fun as hell. All right. Good night. Good night, everyone. Let me see. We sign off from YouTube and Facebook. True, send a message. All right, YouTube and Facebook. We'll catch you all later. You need to get